don't know why she keeps protecting that man. He doesn't even like her like that, but she keeps putting herself at risk, defending him and protecting him. I don't get it.
So it looks like Solange is officially done staying quiet because word is she just put Beyonce on blast. According to sources, Beyonce didn't simply stand by while Jay-Z allegedly moved funny behind the scenes. Insiders claim she actively helped keep certain things buried, even after his name started circulating in connection with Jeffrey Epstein. And now people close to the situation say Solange is tired of watching her sister defend him, because once those Epstein files started surfacing, the perfect image began to crack. Old accusations started resurfacing. Weird industry moments suddenly made more sense, and fans started wondering if Beyonce was ever really just a bystander, or if she was part of the silence that shielded Epstein and his circle. And here's where it starts getting uncomfortable. Almost everything people are noticing right now lines up with warnings Wendy Williams gave years ago. She once said Beyonce was far more calculated and strategic than the public realized. Back then, people dragged Wendy for it, but right now, it's starting to look like she might have been early instead of bitter. Those old claims are coming back with serious weight, so let's unpack it. It seems like Solange may have accidentally exposed Beyonce as someone who allegedly helped cover for Jay-Z's questionable connections with Epstein. Definitely not something anyone had on their bingo card, yet here we are. The wild part is that Solange reportedly wanted Beyonce to stop protecting Jay-Z and finally expose whatever was going on behind the scenes. One thing about Solange, she's never exactly been Jay-Z's biggest fan, and she's never hidden it. According to reports, she's long suspected that Jay-Z's hands weren't exactly clean, but when his name showed up in those Epstein files, that's when she realized just how serious things might be, and that Beyonce may have known more than she ever admitted. And honestly, considering what people say appeared in those documents, it's not hard to see why Solange would be disturbed. She started connecting dots after a new batch of Epstein documents dropped, and suddenly several familiar names started getting dragged into the conversation. Jay-Z was one of the names mentioned, and according to the documents, he reportedly came up in connection with Harvey Weinstein, and not in a vague way either. The papers suggest the two were around each other often enough that Jay-Z allegedly witnessed Weinstein behaving inappropriately toward young women and didn't step in or react, but the documents didn't stop there. One section gets especially heavy. It details an account from a woman who reportedly contacted the FBI's National Threat Operations Center, identifying herself as someone who had been abused by Jeffrey Epstein and people connected to him. She also claimed that back in the mid-90s, around 1996, she was abducted from her home by an unidentified man. According to her statement, when she regained consciousness, she says she found herself in a room with Jay-Z and Harvey Weinstein. In the documents, she alleged that Weinstein assaulted her while Jay-Z was present in the room. It's an extremely disturbing allegation on its own, and people closely following the case say that might not even be the full story. There are reportedly additional pages in the files hinting at even more questionable connections tied to Jay-Z. But here's where things get even wilder. This isn't the first time Jay-Z and Beyonce have been accused of witnessing shady situations and allegedly turning a blind eye. Fans started digging, and let's just say they found some very questionable moments, like the time both of them were named in a lawsuit tied to Diddy. For someone who claims he wasn't really friends with Diddy, Jay-Z's name sure pops up a lot when Diddy is involved. But what made this case especially interesting is that Beyonce was also named in the lawsuit. The case was filed by a man named Joseph Manzaro, who claimed that Jay-Z's former close friend Diddy allegedly assaulted him. In the lawsuit, Manzaro made some extremely shocking allegations that pulled several big celebrity names into the story. He claimed he had been drugged, transported against his will, and severely abused as part of what he described as a coercive and organized criminal operation. According to his filing, in April 2015, he lost consciousness after touching a greasy substance that resembled Vaseline while opening the front door of his home. After that, he says he was taken to another residence where an associate of Diddy allegedly told him that the music mogul wanted him brought to a so-called freak-off event. He claimed that when he regained consciousness, he found himself in the middle of a party already in full swing. He later said he discovered the event was actually a birthday party for Diddy's son Christian Combs, and that he was forced to wear a mask shaped like male anatomy. The lawsuit stated that Jay-Z and Beyonce Knowles Carter,
I was at a party that Diddy created in LA. This was the beginning of 2020. Diddy had put everybody else out the crib. Like the influx of people, he had put them out. He had took a liking to me in particular around the time, and it was really putting his arm around me. Right.
According to the baby, this was the moment everything went from awkward to downright uncomfortable. He claimed Diddy started acting strange around him, getting way too close and way too touchy. The baby said Diddy wrapped his arms around him and got handsy, and the whole vibe felt completely off. He then suggested the real reason Beyonce was even there was because Diddy allegedly wanted to set him up for her, if you catch the hint. In his words, it felt like Diddy was trying to pimp him out. The way he described it, the entire situation felt like a setup from the beginning, with Deba B realizing far too late that he was the only one in the room who didn't understand what was really happening.
So he had put majority of the people out, but he allowed me to spend it in the media, maybe about 15 others, right? Jay-Z to Beyonce being, 2 other 15 people in the room. So that would just put it into perspective of the type of company I was in, right, at the moment, And she came over and introduced herself to me, like, as if she had to, right? Beyonce, cut it out. But I'm a big fan of your work, And that was just dope. That was dope.
Is considering that Diddy had faced similar accusations when trying to pimp Lil Rod to other people. It's not all that surprising. Turns out that at least on one occasion, Beyonce was recorded in an extremely compromising situation at the parties, and the tape came this close to being sold. According to a lawyer named Ariel Mitchell-Kidd, she was allegedly contacted by a client who wanted her to help broker the sale of a tape featuring one of the most prominent celebs in the industry. Ariel claimed that the celebrity was clearly not aware that they were being filled.
Recently contacted by someone who wanted me to essentially represent them in the sale of one of the Diddy tapes. So, which I declined that because, but one particular person contacted me to shop a particular video they were in possession of, and to contact the person who was in the video to see if they were interested in purchasing the video before it became a public knowledge.
I've heard the
I can't
name.
Explain who the person was, but
High profile?
Mr. Combs was in the tape, and this other person is, I would venture to say, more high profile than Mr. Combs.
Really? Really? And you've seen it? Or
I've seen stills of the video.
Okay. You can verify it.
That it exists, that it's real, that the other person in the video is very visible. It's no question if it's that person in the video, and I can tell the video was pornographic in nature.
So it looks like while Beyonce was allegedly covering for Jay-Z, she may not have protected herself. And considering that the video never ended up leaking, some people believe Beyonce might have quietly paid off the lawyer and the client who possessed the footage. But that's not where it ends. According to Jay-Z's former friend Larry Johnson, he once attended a party with Beyonce where minors were present, and he claims she made some extremely disturbing remarks about them.
Now, I did a Rockaware photo shoot in Colorado, and I think it was during the winter time of 06 or 07. And Naomi Campbell was there, actress Jamie King was there, Jay was there, B was there. And he rented this house, and we were supposed to do this rap party for this photo shoot. We rented this house, and we were watching LeBron play. And after the game, it had to be like 10 or 11 o'clock. So we getting ready to party. So when 11 o'clock hit, we turned on the music, we started drinking, and then out of nowhere came these young children. I don't know where they came from. For a rap party at 11 o'clock at night, drinking, loud music, and us dancing wild, like, I don't know where these kids came from. And then I happened to sit down because I was dancing with one of the assistants. And I sat next to this child, and the child sat next to Beyonce. So I hear B say something about, doesn't this look sexy, or isn't this sexy? And in my mind, and mind you, I'm not awakened as I'm awakened now. So in my mind, I'm like, what did she just say?
The deeper people dig into these Beyonce allegations, the messier things start to look. And right now, the situation is looking very questionable because people are also remembering what Wendy Williams used to say about Beyonce. She was actually one of the first public figures to suggest that Beyonce wasn't the sweet, innocent superstar she presented herself to be. And remember when Wendy even accused Beyonce of supposedly faking her pregnancy?
Take a look at the video. Okay, so here's Beyonce, and she's walking out, and everything is fine. She's 5 months pregnant. Then she sits down, and okay, no, we're gonna rerun it until you see it. Let's do it in slow motion. You'll notice she's either giving birth to a Frisbee or Stewie from Family Guy. Look at the shape. Look, do you see? There it is, there it is.
She also accused Beyonce of sabotaging other female artists in order to rise to the top.
So now, guess who's jealous of Adele? Beyonce.
But every time Wendy made those claims, people attacked her and said she was jealous and bitter. Now it's starting to feel like she might deserve an apology. And this is where the story starts turning really dark. Because once you step back and look at everything together, it stops feeling like random accusations and starts looking more like a pattern, one involving silence, protection, and powerful connections that somehow circle back to Beyonce. From edited documents to lawsuits being amended to insiders suddenly speaking up, the same question keeps coming up again and again. How much did Beyonce actually know? And how long was she willing to help keep it hidden? And if Solange truly tried to push her to stop covering for Jay-Z, that says a lot about how serious things may have become behind closed doors. What makes this even more unsettling is that none of this feels new anymore. It feels delayed, because Wendy Williams had been saying for years that the image looked too perfect, the power too protected, and the narrative too carefully controlled. She was mocked, dismissed, and labeled bitter, but now the puzzle pieces are lining up in a way that's getting harder and harder to ignore.